Hey guys, it's Joette with BalloonCoach.com, and today is May 17th, 2023, as we record this awesome presentation. This is a lunch and learn where I am bringing in a guest speaker. Her name is Morgan Hines, and she is with Thryv. And I found out about Thryv through one of my instructors and Balloon Boss Mastermind members, Misty, and Balloons by Misty. And she had been looking for a solution to help her stay organized with her customer management system and didn't quite like the other systems that she had used. And she raved about the excellent customer service and the way that the program educated her in the tools that they had. So today is not a sales pitch for you to have to buy Thryv. I want to make sure I'm real clear about that. It is 6 ways to improve client experience. And what I find in the balloon industry is many times we are so busy with our business that we forget to take time to put systems in place that will help us over time be more efficient, which allows us to keep those clients that we're going after and make them repeat clients in the future. So having that excellent customer service experience is key. And the information that Morgan's going to share with us today, you can get in a number of ways. And I want you to look at your current systems that you have in place or lack of systems that you might have in place and how you can tweak them and make them better. And then if you love some of the things that she talks about, we're going to have a follow-up webinar, another lunch and learn next Wednesday. So I just wanted to let you guys know about that. And with that, I'm going to give the mic over to Morgan, let her introduce herself, and thank you in advance for this presentation because I've already seen it and I love it. And I hope you guys are ready to take some notes, have your pen and paper ready, and then you can ask questions in the chat throughout the time if there's something that you have questions about as she goes through the presentation. So Morgan, thanks for being with us today and sharing this awesome information that's going to help people with their business.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joy. I'm super excited to talk to everyone here today. Can everyone see my screen okay so far? Awesome. So like Joette mentioned, today is not just about Thryv. It's really about your business and some ways to really elevate that customer experience. As small business owners, we know that we live and die by our relationships with clients. And so being able to build a great client experience really ensures that we're able to build those better relationships and just a stronger business overall. So just some great ways that we have found that help small businesses really succeed and thrive, as Joette likes to say, long term. So just quickly about myself, my name is Morgan. I'm a strategic partnerships manager here at Thryv. So I work with others such as Joette who want to support small businesses. At my core, I love small businesses. I come from a family of small business owners. And so I really understand that it can be overwhelming to have all these different tools and needs, and that can be overwhelming just running a business day to day. Oftentimes we find that y'all are signing yourselves up for multiple full-time jobs. So being able to simplify and automate some of these tasks so you can really focus on those relationships and building a better business is so important, which is why we're here. So Joette and BalloonCoach has partnered with Thryv to present these educational tools, but also solutions and options to your small businesses to help you create those relationships and build stronger businesses, and you're able to grow time and time again. So let's jump right into it. So at Thryv, we have found that customers really no longer base their loyalty on price or product. Instead, they really choose to stay loyal to companies due to the experience that they receive. I think oftentimes there's a little bit of a disconnect in the experience that we provide for some of our end clients versus what we expect as consumers nowadays. To be quite honest, we're all a bit spoiled, right? Things like Amazons and Walmarts and things of the world have made it so easy to do business elsewhere. And so if you're not able to create that same client experience, unfortunately, they may find other places who are providing that client experience. So finding these ways to do that has been really vital. So what do customers want? 86% of buyers are willing to pay more for a great customer experience. We never want to be the business who is really competing with the business next door based on a couple of percentage points or a couple pennies off of those orders. We want to create those strong repeat clients, and they will come back to you and possibly even pay more if you're able to provide that great client experience and show that you really care and you can come back for event after event. Obviously, it's graduation season now, but when, maybe there's baby showers happening later in the summer and those sorts of things, we want to make sure that great client experience is there so they remember to call your business and not just go to the next person on Google. So we do find, unfortunately, if you cannot keep up with these increasing demands, your customers will leave you, like I mentioned. So being able to provide these things is just becoming more and more important. So like I mentioned today, we will go over these 6 simple ways to elevate your customer experience overall. So 1, reaching more customers. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. If you're not in front of these customers, then they're going to forget about you or might not even know that you exist. So making it really simple to find you. 2, staying organized. To be quite honest, I'm not the most organized person without tools, but to get around this, I make sure that I set up solutions and tools and systems so that I'm organized all on my own. And it's not something having to keep active track of or understand where everything's located. 3, everyone's favorite part is getting paid. So that should be really simple and easy to do. The last thing we want to do is have to chase down a client after, especially if it's, a really exciting or busy day for them, to interrupt that party and say, hey, where's my check? Making it really simple to pay you either before, after, or during that service. And then communicate. We all know that communication is key in any relationship, and those relationships with your client is simply no different. So communication should be streamlined, easy, and effective. However, communication takes time. So automating some of these tasks and solutions is vital. So things like follow-up, review requests, we'll chat through some of these things. We don't want to lose the human element of your business, but some of these things like appointment reminders shouldn't be something that's coming out of you or your staff's day-to-day. You should be able to focus on creating those new designs and being creative and spending time doing what you love, not sending out appointment reminders manually. And of course, you're working so hard to provide that great experience. We want to make sure that we are working to earn those reviews. And so really modernizing that word of mouth referral process and allowing everyone else to see how great of a job that you're doing for your end clients is so important. So first and foremost, reaching more clients and customers, making sure that you're in front of these people. So currently today, I want you to think about how customers first find you and how they first become aware of your business. Is it through your website? Remember, there's a huge difference between a website that comes up when I'm looking for a specific service. So if I'm looking for a balloon artist near me, or if I'm looking for a special way to decorate for an upcoming event, then that website should be popping up. Are they able to find you that way? Or are they only finding you when I type in, balloonsofsouthflorida.com? Because those are 2 very different things. 2, are they able to find you from a social media presence? Are you interacting with your clients, past and future? Are we tagging and thanking end clients so that we can take advantage of that referral network and other people can see you? We also want to ensure that you have accurate online listings. Again, as just really that educational piece, I think that we give Google a little bit too much credit for how intelligent it is. Google runs the world, right? But if your other listings aren't correct, consistent, and up to date, it can really get confused on where to place you. So making sure that if I look you up on Yelp, Google, Foursquare, wherever I might be finding that business, we want to make sure that your information is correct, consistent, and up to date. And so if I'm looking for a small business near me, you're one of the first to pop up. They really reward you for that consistency and taking full advantage of their tools. And then last but definitely not least are your online reviews. I think that one of the first things we all do once we find a business is click into those stars and see what other people are saying about that business. So even if it's that word of mouth referral, it could be a balloon company, it could be a mechanic, it could be anyone. I think we all have asked for some sort of referral and been told by a friend to go to ABC Business. Maybe you're still going to look up the reviews online and see if other people agree with our friend. Sometimes those reviews don't look so friendly. So making sure that those reviews are responded to, they're clean, they're concise, and obviously ideally positive, as well as a great way to bring in additional clients to that business. So we found that over half of consumers today will not trust your business if it doesn't have an online presence. This really goes back to what I was just saying about looking up those reviews for the first time. Even if someone refers a business to me and says, hey, Joette did a beautiful, beautiful arch for my daughter's birthday. You should use her for your son's birthday next week. If I go to look Joette up online and simply cannot find her business, cannot find any examples outside of maybe a Facebook page or some older posts, I might not trust that I want to do business with that person. So making sure that you have that really professional appearance on the outside, that you're trusted by those end consumers, both current and prospective. So this seems like a lot already. So how are we going to stay organized and keep track of all these things? So customer information is really important. As we continue to grow the business and you have more and more clients that you're supposed to be keeping up with, things like client history get to be really important. Having these notes and knowing that the last time you interacted with Susie is when you did her daughter's first birthday party. If Susie reaches out and calls you 2 months, before her daughter's second birthday party, being able to answer the phone and say, hey, Susie, are you ready to decorate for your daughter's second birthday party? I know that we did a great event for you last year. Looking forward to working with you again. Just creates that better consumer experience and shows that you truly care about that ongoing relationship. So being able to keep this all in one place is really important, as well as payments. Again, I say it once, I'll say it again. Getting paid is generally our favorite part of that small business journey, making sure that we're being rewarded for that hard work. So we want to make sure that nothing's being overlooked. Being able to keep track of your costs, as well as if that person has paid you a deposit versus full payment, and having that all in one streamlined form of communication as well. And then being able to book online appointments is really vital. I think we've all fallen into looking up a business on Google, trying to give them a call. Maybe they're not answered, maybe that they're out of the office or it's outside of regular business hours. Being able to book an online appointment for the following day, even if it's something as simple as a 10 to 15 minute long discovery call to see if it's something that your business has the bandwidth to do, or even fully being able to book out your calendar for different services, is just a really great client experience. It ensures that you and that consumer are both available and ready. I'm sure they'll have all their information ready. It just creates that better client experience. And then being able to do this all from your phone is really important. A lot of you guys have shops that you're working out of day in and day out, but if you're doing deliveries or have someone that's going out to do installations of these balloon structures, being able to interact, take payment, all these things, all from an app on your phone is really, really important. So we find that over half of teams have improved their productivity by using a mobile CRM. So CRMs are only as good as the information that you populate into them, whether that is through automation or through manual tracking. If they don't have information, there's not a ton they can do for you. So making sure that these are constantly updated, and we all know that we're tied to our phones, so being able to keep up with this on a day-to-day basis and quickly input any information or message that person back from an app on your phone has really helped teams be more productive. And at the end of the day, productivity is kind of the name of the game in that small business space. So 3, really making sure that it is easy to make payments to your small business. So I want you all to kind of take a step back and think, how are your clients currently paying you? If I came to do business with you today, do I have the option to use contactless payments? So can I tap? Can I pay you through a link? Any of those sorts of things should be nice and easy. But sometimes you're right in front of that person. We do want to make sure that you're able to pay in person, but maybe also in advance online, whether that's putting in a deposit to make sure materials are covered or that full cost of the service prior. Each should be really simple options. And then we should be able to also send out quotes and estimates. Oftentimes for some of those larger projects that we're really all striving to achieve, it's not something that someone's just going to call in and say, hey, can you build me this, multi-$1,000 unit? Great, thanks, see you in a week. They're going to want you to send out a really professional and custom looking estimate or quote. We should really simply be able to turn that into an invoice and request payment all in one place. So making sure this is a really simple and easy process for yourself, but also for that end consumer is very important. So we found that more than a quarter of small businesses have already seen a significant increase in contactless payments and transactions since the pandemic began. So I think we all know creating different ways to get paid just makes you get paid more quickly. I know as a consumer myself, if you send me a link via text or email, you're getting paid light years before someone I might have to go drop off a check to or figure out another way to go pay in person. Maybe they're all the way on the other side of town and you have a delivery driver that's coming over on the day of the event. They probably don't want to drive all the way over to your shop or wherever you're currently doing business out of, while they're still planning their events or have busy lives going on like we all do. So again, communicate. Communication is key in any relationship, and this includes your relationship with your clients as well. So again, let's think about how clients are currently communicating with your business today. If the only option is to call you or maybe email you, if that's getting overwhelming or if it's just hard to get in contact with you, taking a look at some of these other options could be really important. So having a client portal. Client portal is a great truth of record for that client to see all back and forth interactions with your business. They can see any kind of estimates that were sent out to you, as well as any payments that may be due, all back and forth communication, as well as any resources or collateral that you may want to send them prior. Maybe you have some pictures of some work that you'd like to send out as some examples if they aren't 100% sure what they'd like. Obviously, every balloon design is a little bit different, but great way to give them that first look into what you may be able to provide. And then a single inbox has really been the biggest game changer at Thryv. I kind of joke and say, if I left, I think I might have to purchase a Thryv inbox. So pulling all of your communication into one place is really important. So if clients are finding you today on Facebook, Yelp, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google My Business, text, and email, it can get to be really overwhelming to keep track of all those people, where that person first came from, if you have any missed messages. So finding a way to pipe your information into a centralized source. We offer a centralized inbox, but if you're not using Thryv, maybe having someone that takes over all front-facing communication for the business, or a specific person that manages it from X time to X time every day. We do want to make sure that no information is overlooked. Obviously, really poor client experience. I think we've all messaged a business before and never heard back, or maybe heard back a couple weeks later. I know I sent someone a message a while ago looking to have a haircut. I said, hey, I have an event coming up this weekend. I was wondering if I could get in for a haircut prior to the weekend. 4 weeks later, they said, yeah, we can fit you in tomorrow. Not great client experience. So making sure that we're able to communicate with these people is really important. Social media is becoming more and more popular in the business space. Clients expect to find you there, so you kind of have to be there. But being able to communicate with clients there through Messenger, but also your overall brand. So being able to show before and after pictures, happy clients, and just show that you're really there for the community is great. Website pop-ups can be really powerful. So something like contact us, see our past work, directions, call us, leave us a review. Anytime you can make it simple and easy for that client to interact with you, it's a win. They shouldn't have to try hard to leave you that review or send out some communication if they might need some help or want to request an estimate. And again, email and text reminders have really changed the game. Being able to automate some of these tasks, put so much time back into your day-to-day, allow the client to really take control of that relationship, but also ensure that it's done. We find that there's less missed appointments, less misunderstandings when these reminders are sent out on a really consistent basis. So it's not just Thryv saying it. So we do find that 91% of adults like receiving emails from companies they do business with. They want you to keep up that ongoing relationship and show those touch points that you care about their business, whether you're just showing other work that you've done in the community, or presenting different offers or quotes. Maybe you're running a special promotion for graduation season, for example. And then this is probably one of my favorite stats, is that text messages have a 98% open rate within 2 minutes. I'm sure as I'm talking, half of you have probably received a text message and at least glanced over to see who it was. I'm not saying that each and every one of these people are going to respond to you right away, but at least making sure that it's in front of that client and they know that you care about them. They get that reminder, and it's just another touch point for your business to interact with that consumer. And especially if we're able to automate some of these things, it's really not a lot of skin off your back. So again, automation, communication can be really time consuming. So how do we automate some of these things so that communicating with clients doesn't become, an extra full-time job on top of what you're currently doing? So inside of some of these automations, like I mentioned, reminders. So appointment reminders prior to events. So I'm sure many of you received a reminder prior to this webinar saying that we were getting ready to start and that we had some great information for you today. But also, if you were going to a place of business and dropping off a balloon structure, maybe sending out that reminder at 9 a.m. and saying, your balloon artist will be there today by noon. If you have any kind of last minute questions or edits, please feel free to give us a shout here. Or maybe this is your driver's information if there's any specific delivery instructions that you think we may need to know. And then I love to make sure we're saying thank you to clients. They went out of their way, they did business with you, they brought you into an important time of their life. Whatever it is, generally, if they're looking for you to come in and design something for them, it's important. So making sure we're going out of our way, saying thank you for doing business, showing that you care is worth its weight in gold. And then, of course, receipts. If you're working on more of the corporate side or just going directly into end consumers' homes, everyone wants a receipt to make sure they know what they paid for when they're done, when they're wrapping up the end of those events. And then follow-ups. It's expensive to have to go out and find new clients every time. I think that a lot of business owners miss out on re-engaging with the existing clients. So we used the example earlier of, doing a balloon arch for Susie's daughter's first birthday. There should be a follow-up that says, hey, we supported you for this special event last year. We'd love to support you again this year. Please feel free to give us a shout if there's anything we can help you with. So being able to automate some of these reminders and tools are really important here. And then, haven't heard from you. Hey, we miss you. We hope you're okay. Is there anything we can do to help? Is there anyone in the community I can introduce you to? Again, fostering relationships doesn't need to be hard, but it should still feel personal, no matter how much automation is behind it. So being able to customize any of these messages so that it really sounds like it's coming from you, because it is. We're just automating, actively sending these out to make sure that you're not spending your entire day doing this. And then again, we find that 75% of consumers are more likely to buy from a retailer that A, recognizes them by name. We all know how lovely that feels when you walk into a store and someone says, hey, Kristen, how you doing today? It's so great to have you back. 2, recommends other options based on their past purchases. I'm a sucker for that. I know I am. Last time, Morgan, you did something on the beach and you loved it. I know that you're hosting something that's a little bit more inland this time. Do you want to keep that blue theme? We have this lovely arch that I can bring into you. Maybe we'll even bring in some other under the sea elements. I'll buy it all of the things I will purchase. And then 3, again, knowing your purchase history. So making it simple. If someone wants to reorder things, especially getting into some of those more corporate spaces, events, a lot of them, I know for Thryv, we have very simple and easy branding. If you haven't been able to tell so far, we love us some orange. So being able to find some, white, silver, black, and orange balloons if we were going to do an event in person, being able to automatically say, hey, these are the color brandings that you've used in the past. Do you just want to use those same ones? Absolutely, I do. I have no idea what the color code is for the Thryv branding colors. I'm sure I'm supposed to know. I do not. Anytime we work with a vendor that knows those colors for me, I'm going back to them every single time. So again, making that client experience really simple and easy. And then last, but definitely not least, is earning more reviews. Again, really starting to bring those word of mouth referrals into the 21st century, but also put them on a platform that more people will see them. It's great that Susie might say great things about her daughter's birthday party and tell her neighbor, but if she also puts that review online, that is able to spread to significantly more people than she may be able to just, tell in her daily life. So why are reviews so important? One, it improves customer service and really encourages repeat business. So in some of those automated follow-ups and thank yous, saying, I really enjoyed doing business with you. Thank you so much for inviting me into your home and including us in this special day. I'd love if you gave us any feedback, as well as leave us a review online if you're so inclined. It shows that you're really going out of your way. You enjoyed it and you want that reciprocal relationship back. And then for new clients, it really encourages confidence when choosing your business. Again, even if Susie comes to me and tells me how great of a job you did, I want to make sure that that wasn't a one-time thing. I want to make sure that every time I can really expect that same experience. So I would probably still go online, check out those reviews, even if it's just at a quick glance, and know that it's not just Susie, but everyone else that you've done business with also appreciates your work. And then again, making sure that we're playing nice with Google. Earlier, I mentioned making sure that your listings are correct, consistent, and up to date, but more reviews also convince search engines and the social sites to recommend your business more often. It's all about that well-rounded experience and well-rounded approach when it comes to online presence and customer experience, really as a whole. So making sure that your hat is always in the ring. Again, for clients to make sure they can find you and interact with you. From there, they can decide if they want to do business with you, but to make sure that your business is at least an option to contact. So how do we do this? My favorite, so identify happy customers and simply ask for a review, but make it easy. So even if you don't have a tool such as Thryv that will automate some of these things, saying, hey, Susie, I really enjoyed doing business with you. Thanks so much for your great feedback. I would love to text you a link to my Google My Business profile. Do you mind leaving me a review? I'd love to find others that are looking for similar support or tools as yourself. You were amazing, and I really appreciate any kind of support. Really simple to do. You're probably already saying thank you when you're walking out the door anyway, simply adding in that call to action. And then 2, this is huge, making sure that you're responding to both your positive and negative reviews. I'm sure that there's always someone that decides to leave a review that maybe we don't love or agree with, but still making a point to interact with it and respond to it online, saying that you apologize if that's how they felt, or that they didn't have the best customer service or experience. Say that's not how you really want to do business and you appreciate their feedback. But on the other side, thanking those other clients for those positive reviews, inviting them to come back and telling them how excited you are to do business with them again soon. All of these things will encourage more reviews on your page, but also encourage those repeat clients as well as new clients to contact you. So we find that 97% of customers read online reviews before making buying decisions. So this is really across the board. Like I said, I'm not alone in choosing to still Google someone, even if I was referred over by a friend. So if you take nothing else away today, make sure that we're communicating with those clients, but also checking out your online reviews and seeing what others see when they decide to look you up online. So first step is just kind of becoming aware of what is out there today. Thryv does some great business analysis scans that we'd love to offer you as a free takeaway as well. If you have any interest in that, we can really take a look at what your reviews and online presence look like today. And again, regardless of Thryv, some areas that you may be able to improve. So again, we do this all in one place. We think that customers' expectations need to be met, and you have to do these 6 things regardless. Thryv happens to do it in a single dashboard or a single platform. And we'd love to chat with you about that if you have any kind of questions specifically on Thryv, or just kind of online presence and client experience as a whole. If you have any questions, I'd love if you want to come off mute or type them in the chat.
Wow, lots of awesome information. Woo-hoo! All right, so and Tabitha said, sign me up for that.
Awesome.
So, guys, this is the time where you can ask questions. We are still recording, but if you have something that you don't want to have on the recorded part, you can always open up your mic and say pause, and I can pause the recording, or you can type it in the chat and I will be the voice for you. So we had, other than paying online with a credit card, what is one other payment type you need for remote payments?
So you can also take ACH payments. So ACH payments are a great way to keep costs low. I think we all know that credit card processing fees never seem like a ton, but they do add up very, very quickly. So being able, especially for more of those high ticket items, to offer ACH payments, one, it does decrease the amount that you're paying in fees. But two, it's really simple and easy to for that end client as well. There are services such as Plaid. If any of you guys have gone to checkout online and it's pulled it directly from your checking account, that can be done, and that's a really seamless client experience as well.
And can you define what ACH payments are for those who don't know?
I can. Kristen, help me out with an acronym.
Yeah,
here.
electronic checks. It's just basically the checking and routing number. And the great thing is, too, remote payment wise, we have a lot of clients that use like Venmo and Cash App and things like that. They can still send the receipt through Thryv and track that through Thryv as well. Your little one in the background. Cutie.
Yeah, sorry, Kristen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think you're correct, Valerie. I apologize. That slipped my head, but automatic clearinghouse. So basically automated checks, just like Kristen had said.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what is the most popular one? Most people do use like credit cards. And then for bigger transactions, ACH is really nice because the most you'd have to pay for an ACH, even if, regardless of the amount, is only $9. So it's 1%. Now, if they do, we do have clients that use like Venmo and Cash App and things like that, but they still send them the receipt through Thryv. But you can actually, if they want to do a credit card, it's any type of credit cards in ACH, like Morgan said.
And then the only kind of warning with Venmo is it can get a little bit sticky for keeping track for your client records. Again, separate of Thryv. If you are using Venmo, I would highly suggest setting up some sort of cadence to make sure that you are exporting that information and bringing it into your bookkeeping, however you're currently keeping track of that, to make sure that you're able to match client spend and client history with who has actually paid you, especially if you're taking payment multiple ways.
That is a great tip, because I think sometimes people don't realize how confusing that can be. And I see that a lot with our newer balloon business owners for sure, is they'll end up taking all these payments from multiple ways and then not funnel it into one place for that overall information. It's a great tip.
Great question so far, guys.
All right, guys. So does anybody else have any other questions today for Morgan on the presentation she just did? Other things that you're wanting to know? Go ahead, Morgan.
Yeah, and then I know that Tabitha, you said that you were looking for that business scan to be done in your business. If you would just either scan this QR code, or you can reach out to myself or Kristen in the chat and give us some good contact information for you. We can go in and make sure that we can dig into your business specifically. And this goes for everyone. We'd love to do a free business analysis scan for you, see what your online presence currently looks like, some ways that Thryv may be able to help, or where you may be able to update some of these things on your own. Someone from our team would be more than happy to get in touch with you and answer any kind of specific questions that you have as well on your business, or, on Thryv specifically as well.
Awesome. And then just to let you guys know, if you're wanting definitely go for the free business scan. I think that's great, but go ahead and also mark your calendar for Wednesday, May 24th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 10 a.m. Pacific. We will be doing how Thryv can grow your business. So it's kind of that next step to answer some of the specific questions that people have about all of the amazing tools that Thryv has. And Tabitha asked earlier if Misty was going to be on today. Hello, Misty.
Hi. So I just wanted to share, I've been using Thryv since last July, so now almost a year. I went to it right after graduation last year. And I can say, without a doubt, my graduation season this year versus last year, as far as my stress level and organization and everything else, is night and day. I feel like I'm so much more organized. I'm able to keep on top of clients easier, because for me, that customer service stuff has always been like my number one thing. And finding Thryv and being able to automate my follow-up response, which sounds exactly like me so much that my customers often will message back and be like, oh my gosh, yes, Susie loved her balloons. And they'll respond just like I did before when I was personally reaching out. And having that time back is priceless. And just like sending out that automatic response, sending out my change of address, any of that stuff it's helped tremendously with that customer experience. And like Morgan said, people will buy from you because of your customer experience, not because of the price. And the more that I have focused on that customer experience and making it great by using my Thryv and all the tools that are in there to work for me, it has like I said, my business is, the majority of it is just repeat customers, because my customer experience is just full, and I can do that without all that extra stress because Thryv makes it so easy.
Thank you so much for sharing, Misty. I appreciate it. The other thing that I just want to throw out there is that one of the number one things that I hear from people using different tools is, one thing is customer management systems. Sometimes we start with one that's for solo entrepreneurs, and then we grow because we've grown larger and things are going on and we have multiple needs. And then other times people tell me that with customer management systems, they didn't get the support that they needed to be able to set things up. And the number one thing Misty told me that she loved about our program was the onboarding experience and how she got one-on-one training to get things set up. And I'm experiencing that. I just had my second session today, where we were going over and being able to see how some of the tools work. And the person on the other end is showing me step by step and pointing to what I need to push and what button to do. So that's been really great for me. So I love hearing how it's helped you out, Misty. I'm just checking our chat. Do we have any other questions currently for Morgan?
Joy,
So
somebody
I think
was
just the link.
asking. Yep, about the link for the next one.
So guys, what will happen is in all of my Facebook groups, Balloon Boss Mastermind, Balloon Business Startup, Balloon Coach Community, you'll see it as an event. I didn't want to confuse people with having Morgan up twice for today. So after I'm done with things today, you'll see that in the groups. And then all of my people who are my Balloon Boss Mastermind program, the link is already in your Balloon Boss Mastermind dashboard in the calendar. So I promise you guys will all have that link for next week. And the date is, let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. Guys, go ahead before I share my screen and I was going to let them click on that one more time, Morgan.
I'll share it one more time.
Yep.
Here we go.
So guys,
I'll also put up the link.
Yep. So before I share the thing, everybody go ahead and click. Just take your phone, click right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to do that so that you can contact with them to learn more. And then said you can put the link up in the chat also, Morgan. Great.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and then share my screen. So our next class will be on Wednesday, May 24th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 10 a.m. Pacific, how Thryv can help your business grow. And the other thing is like, if you want to just reach out to them right now, you can go ahead and do that with the link that Morgan has in the chat and with the other information there. The last thing that I want to make sure I let you guys know is if you ever need help with growing your business and you aren't in it on my programs yet, go to BalloonCoach.com. You can learn more about our Balloon Boss Mastermind program or about joining us in Orlando in November for Balloon Boss Summit. The special I have going on right now is I'm getting ready to go on a summer teaching tour up the East Coast and stopping in 8 locations. And if you would like to go ahead and join Balloon Boss Mastermind now, you get a free ticket to that trip this summer. So just letting you know that's a bonus that's a part of our program right now. So let me just double check and see if we have any questions that are in the chat that I missed. And guys, feel free to open up your mic and ask a question directly to Morgan before she says goodbye.
Absolutely. I think the only question was the demo date. So next week, the same time and date, we'll go into a bit deeper of the Thryv platform itself, but still really educational forward. And then there will be a recording of this as well.
Cool. And so for those of you who are watching this as a replay, I encourage you to join us live in the future for all of our lunch and learns and other trainings that we have. We're going to turn off the recording now to be able to answer a couple other questions that people have that prefer not to be recorded. People are saying, thank you so much for the information. It's great. And again, no matter what program you use, these 6 steps, guys, are going to help you take the next step in having excellent service, booking more clients, and then getting those awesome return. Morgan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.